Good morning. My name is Staff Sergeant Dominic Mayhew, DOMINIC from the Calgary Police Service Child Abuse Team. I'll read from a prepared statement. Also joining us today is Cheryl Crowther. She's with Alberta Family Children Care Associations, and she may take some questions from you as well in relation to day homes. As a result of an investigation, the Child Abuse Unit has charged a man with sex-related offences stemming from an incident at a day home. The incident was reported to police in February of 2017 after a 3-year-old girl told her parents that she'd been inappropriately touched by a man while at the day home located in the community of Citadel. The man, who lives in the home but is not the primary caregiver, is alleged to have sexual contact with the girl when they were alone. The operator of the day home is known to the man and is cooperating with the investigation. Police have contacted the parents who had children attending the day home at the time and around the time of the incident. A series of DNA testing was conducted and several samples were submitted for testing. This contributed to the overall length of the investigation. Gary Francis HACHEY, age 51, of Calgary, has been charged with a sexual interference and sexual assault of this child as a result of the investigation. He is next scheduled to attend court on Friday, August 4th, 2017. And at this point, I'll take any questions that you have.
Can you tell us the status of this day home? Is it still open? What's happening there?
Yeah, safety of children is especially concerning to the Calgary Police Service, especially when we have day home investigations. It's our job in order to assess the safety of the children. I can tell you that the children and the children's parents were spoken to within 24 hours, and the day home was not taking clients as of 24 hours after it was reported to us.
And it was initially reported in February, correct?
That's correct.
And is this a licensed, unlicensed day home?
It's an unlicensed day home.
Sorry, just for clarity. So it was shut down? Or did they voluntarily close it? Or?
Yeah, as a result of the investigation, they were spoken with and voluntarily closed down.
How many children were at the day home?
For an unlicensed private day home, it would have to be under 6 children.
And can you say how many were actually there, or was it 6?
I can't at the time, no.
What was the relationship with Mr. HACHEY and the licensed or the unlicensed day home operator?
Yes, the primary operator would have been the wife. He was the husband of the wife and worked within the day home to provide services.
So he interacted with the children?
That's correct.
How long had it been operating, this day home?
From our knowledge, it was operating under the name of Jane's Day Home, and to our knowledge, it's been operating for approximately 10 years.
In the same location, do you know?
I don't know in the same location.
That being the case, I know you were in touch with parents who were attending at about the same time. Have you gone back and tried to find other parents who were there just to see if there were any other issues?
We did. Basically, we asked for cooperation in order to identify parents' prior clients as well as former clients. Former clients as well as current clients.
And do you have any concerns that other children may have been victimized in this situation?
That certainly, was a possibility, but at this point we have no information to suggest there's any other victims.
Can you explain the use of or the need to take DNA samples in this investigation, or is that normal procedure?
It's one of our investigative techniques that we could possibly do in any investigation. I think there's sometimes where DNA will afford evidence, and it's something that's I guess, thought of in each and every individual case as to whether DNA would afford evidence or not.
So can you say why DNA was used or useful in this investigation?
Based on the allegation that we received, we believed that DNA would afford evidence, and I'm not going to speak to the specifics of where that DNA might have come from.
Just so I'm clear, because I wasn't clear from the release, was it DNA from just one individual or multiple individuals?
The DNA result allowed us to charge one individual as a result of that.
Was DNA collected just from one individual?
That I don't know.
Can you give us a sense of sort of how you were made aware? Like, how did this all come about? How were police made aware what happened?
Mm-hmm. This young girl had a conversation with her parents. As a result of that conversation with her parents, she reported it to the Calgary Police, the parents.
And that was a fairly immediate thing, like?
That's correct, yeah.
How is the little girl doing?
Good. I think, as much as the Calgary Police Service is is looking to, complete a thorough investigation, at the same time we're also looking to support victims. And this is something that could be done through the Sheldon Kennedy Child Advocacy Center.
Does this couple have any biological, any children of their own?
Adult children, I believe.
And just to clarify, are you still actively looking at people who have previously been connected with this day home in terms of people with children, or is that something you've already done?
We've reached out to the parents of clients, obviously, with the intention of seeing whether there are any other victims of this offense. There's no other people that have come forward. Certainly it is a possibility, but at this time we have no other information to suggest there's any other offenses.
Was Mr. Hatchey known to you in any capacity prior to this?
I'm not going to speak to his criminal history.
And his wife, who runs the day home, has she been cooperative in this investigation?
Yeah, I think cooperation is a varying term, but she has been cooperative.
Just for clarification, on his LinkedIn, he's listed as the owner of the day home. Is that accurate?
I can't comment on, what you might have found in relation to that.
But he's not the owner as far as you're concerned?
As to my knowledge, the wife is the primary operator of the day home. He assists with the operation.
Do you know if he was, in these circumstances, was he alone with this one child in particular? Or, can you talk about the circumstances around that?
I'm not going to speak to the specifics of how the offense occurred and what the nature of the offense is.
That's good. Any others? Okay.
And so I'll introduce you to Cheryl Crowther, just off to the side, if you have any questions for her. Thank you.
Yeah.
Can you just introduce yourself and talk a little bit about what you're doing?
Hi, so I'm Cheryl Crowther, and I'm representing the Alberta Family Child Care Association, which is an affiliation of government-contracted day home agencies within the province of Alberta. And the association is engaged in promoting the health and well-being of children and their families.
So Cheryl, I guess maybe talk about your reaction to this concerning case.
I think, first off, being clear that it is, that it did occur in private babysitting home, which is something that how we at the Alberta Family Child Care Association, as well as the government, does refer to unlicensed homes as private babysitters. So that's, a distinction that I just want to make sure that everyone is clear of right from the start.
But you must find it troubling.
Of course, anything like this is very, very troubling, yeah, for sure. And with approved family day homes, there are a lot of checks and balances that we put into place to try to avoid anything like this. So we do criminal record checks on any adult that's in the home, and that includes a vulnerable sector search on all these adults. Thoroughly safety proofing the home to make sure they are child-proofed, medical checks on the day home educator to make sure that they're physically and emotionally able to resume this responsibility. And I think one of the really important factors too is that there are strict guidelines from the government and within agencies on direct supervision, so that the children aren't left unsupervised at any time.
But what is the real scope of, I guess, the ratio in terms of how many licensed facilities we have as opposed to, I don't know how you quantify how many unlicensed.
And that's just it. It's very hard to determine because unlicensed babysitters don't have to register anywhere. So we don't know how many there are in the city. I can tell you that there are approximately 650 approved homes with agencies within the city of Calgary and the surrounding area. So I do know that piece. But yeah, it is really hard to monitor because there's nobody monitoring them. They don't have to report to anybody. In terms of ratios within the home, in an approved family day home setting, they can have a maximum of 6 children in their home, and that includes their own children. So these are 6 children that are under the age of 13 in their home. And within that, there's even more guidelines on the ratios within the age of the children. So there can be no more than 3 children under 3 years old, and out of those, no more than 2 under 2. In private babysitting homes, they can have up to 6 children, but that does not include their own. So if they have 4 children of their own, they could potentially have 10 children in their private babysitting service. So it's something that parents really need to become aware of and find out more information and become educated on the differences between private babysitters and approved and regulated family day homes. So I would really encourage families to go on to the government website to find out, the Government of Alberta website to find out more about what to look for in approved family childcare. And to contact any of the agencies within the province. And if you're in Calgary, there's 10 agencies to contact any one of them, and we can provide information. As well, there is a website for the Calgary region of the Alberta Family Childcare Association, which is www.calgarychildcare.org, and that will give you all the information that you need on approved regulated care, and give you some of those links as well to the government website.
Just to be clear though, in a private day home or babysitter,
Yeah.
as you call it, what kind of safeguards, if any, or monitoring is in place?
None. There is none. So unless a concerned citizen makes a complaint, or a parent in the home makes a complaint, and there is nothing. So there's no regulation on having criminal record checks done. There's no monitoring visits, whereas in an approved regulated care, there's unannounced visits done monthly on the homes. So there's nobody overseeing any of the private ones. And again, because they don't have to register anywhere, it's hard to know who they are and where they are within the city.
So they're just licensed as a business, that's the only thing?
I don't think they're even licensed as a business. They're just opening their home to look after children. Yeah. So they would privately advertise to people that they're caring for children in their home.
And do you get the sense that parents understand the difference? You sort of touched on this already, but do you think that parents really understand the difference? Because you see day home
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
how they differentiate.
Yeah, I think there's more and more we're getting the information out there, but I think there still is that education piece that needs to happen for families. Because private day home is interchanged, or even not the word private, but day home is used so often that people lump the two together, and I think it's really important that we make that distinction between private babysitters and approved, licensed, regulated care, that there is that distinction. So I think the more that we can educate the public, the better, to get that information out to families so that they know the types of questions they should be asking when they are looking for childcare, and to make sure that they have the right fit for them.
Good.
Good.
Thanks.